Happy Friday, everybody. I am doing an impromptu little webinar class on the related subject of like you're feeling stronger and you're definitely noticing things are like happening more with ease and like there's like rock hard muscles under there, but you're not quite seeing the results that you were hoping to see. So let's talk a little bit what might be some of the underlying issues for that, because sometimes as I've been learning more and more with this perimenopause stuff, that it is more complex. And there could be a few key things that you didn't realize that are creating stagnation in the weight coming off, especially in that kind of tire belly, like the basketball of like inflammation in your lower gut, which I didn't realize, but it is a huge issue for women. Not everyone. If you're a little bit younger, you're not there yet. But some of this stuff will still apply to you. So let's get started with like a general guideline. So it could be that without, a change in the diet, and a little bit of added stress. So stress creates more cortisol. Cortisol likes to protect us and put belly fat on here for like it, because it's a survival. If we have a lot of cortisol, your body is like you're in survival mode. And stress, so many women are like, I don't think I'm stressed. Unless you have some sort of magical daily practice and you're like just such a calm yogi, there is stress in the world today. A lot of people are saying they didn't realize how stressed they were about COVID until they got their vaccine. And then they realized like a weight had lifted from them. Not everybody, but I mean, there is just can be underlying stress that never completely goes down. And you have to be able to get into the parasympathetic for it to clear. Okay. So that's one thing. Stress will make it hard for you to lose the belly fat. And it doesn't have to be like you're losing your house or your work is really stressful. For mamas, it could just be that your kids are like perhaps suffering in school because of the weird way that school is these days, or you are worried about your parents, you haven't seen them in a long time. Those kind of things create stress in the body. So really want to advocate for some sort of daily practice. There's so many apps out there, and so many people are like, what is like 10 minutes of meditation going to do? Well, the science says a lot, a lot. It really helps develop your ability to handle stress and to stay more neutral so you don't get on the stress train where the mind goes like, what if this and that, poor victim me, victim that. If you're doing some sort of meditation, you're just like, no, and then back to it. Doesn't mean you don't feel stress. There's just not as much lingering in the background. Okay. So, that's why I recommended the walks in nature. If you're all doing 30 minutes walking without your phone and you should be feeling the stress levels coming down. So let's say you are doing that. You're doing lots of walks and you feel like you have a good stress management. I always advocate for more, but like let's say that's all it. It could be dun, da, 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 hormones. And I'm going to talk about this more later in the month. Um, as progesterone kind of lowers and estrogen starts to do its thing, and insulin resistance, as we hear, can happen even if you're not eating a ton of sugar and stuff like that. So past the age of 40, women, we need less carbs. We just don't metabolize them as well. Okay. We don't have the ability to convert them into energy the same way as we did when we were younger. Therefore, they're getting stored as fat. Generally, I'm just generalizing the scientific. It's quite complex, but we don't need as much carbs. So you really should be focusing on your protein, your healthy fats. And of course, we need carbs. It's still like 50% of our day, but where are you getting them from? Beans, because we need fiber to pull things through our gut so that the floating around hormones can be out of the body. Okay. So when you're thinking about your carb sources, don't think breads, don't think crackers, don't think cereals, don't even think like I've been eating oatmeal my whole life and I'm slowly starting to switch and I'm feeling a lot more energetic. So I'm doing more of like a chia oat kind of warm, because it's more of the feeling of the breakfast that I like, and it wasn't actually just the oats. So I was able to identify that and switch. So I'm eating more of like a seedy oatmeal, like more of a paleo oatmeal. So to reiterate, beans, squash, potato, like don't worry about your vegetables, like eat lots of those, and don't really worry about your fruits. I mean, of course, we're not eating like 3 to 4 bananas and mangoes a day, but once in a while, especially with it being spring, our bodies need a little bit more lightness like that. So it's okay. So again, lesson number 2, other than stress management, is, let's just sum it up, is less carbs, less processed carbs. If you are still eating crackers, if you are still eating toast, if you're still eating a whole wheat wrap and you want to see more results, tough love, cut those things out for the next 2 weeks. Okay. Cut it right back. Just eat your, squashes and a little bit of quinoa, cut the rice, cut the oats, cut the bread, cut the crackers, cut the sugar, and you will see like that will definitely help. Okay. Beans, that's where you're going to get your carbs, and they have lots. 1 cup of beans is all you need for the day for your carbs. That's how much carbs there are in beans. So you could be eating fairly paleo, which means no grains. And I mean, paleo doesn't eat beans either. I recommend beans for the full on protein, because it's really hard to get your protein from just vegetables, and meat has none. So tofu has none. So where are you going to get your fiber if you're just eating like vegetables and protein, right? You need the fiber, so you need the beans. Okay, next. I just had like a moment. Did you guys see me? I'm like, oh my God, I'm not recording. I am recording. Okay, last thing, another thing I've been learning, didn't really realize it was such a big thing. I mean, I understand and I do care about liver health, but if you have a sluggish liver, or sometimes what's called as a fatty liver, you are, all of the insulin and testosterone and cortisol, all the hormones that are floating in your body, they become inert, or like they deactivate a little bit. They're still like a hormone. These aren't just like mystical things. They're actually little particles that your pituitary, your ovaries, like all the different glands are actually creating. Now, once they're done doing their thing in their body, they have to go through the liver and then through the colon, and then you poop them out. That's why we need the fiber. But if you go up another level, you need to have a really good reactive, clean liver. Now, if you have anything like a checkered past, I sure do. Even if you had the best intentions, you never drank in your life, but you grow up eating Chef Boyardee, pizza pops, anything processed. If you lived in a house where your mom bought cheap furniture, lots of plastics, hairspray, nails, Febreze, all those kind of like environmental toxins, or if you've eaten like meat that isn't ethically sourced, that has hormones in it, you're going to have like just a slew of things in your liver that need to be cleansed. So you need to focus on liver loving foods. And I talk about that all the time. I highly recommend doing a short liver cleanse. I do one now every couple of months, even, to just kind of support my liver. And that means taking away all of my caffeine, taking away all the processed food, any kind of processed meat like bacon or, like turkey or whatever that's like not like absolutely clean, and just focusing on fruits and vegetables and like low fats, because fat affects the liver as well. Not that we don't need fat for hormone balance, we do. I'm just talking about just liver at the moment. And then things like asparagus, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, apples, those kind of things help clean the liver. Dandelion tea, there's lots, and I talk about it all the time. If you guys are paying attention, you've heard me talk about this before. But when your liver is doing a better job, then the hormones are coming out, and then all of a sudden everything starts to chug. And what happens? Metabolism comes back online, because like metabolism is just a series of hormonal events happening in your body, from insulin to human growth hormone to L-theanine. Like there's a whole bunch, I don't even know the names. again, I'm not like the expert, but I do understand that it takes balance in the body to get the metabolism going. So hopefully that makes sense. A last thing, I don't usually recommend this, but I've been reading a lot about it. I could say for you to try it out, but it is digestive enzymes. So digestive enzymes are something you can buy at any health food store, and they can help you if you're having a really hard time metabolizing your food because of stress or whatever. Taking digestive enzymes can make that process better, and it can just help the debloating. And then you can see, is it just that I'm like really having a hard time like actually digesting my food? Is there still like, then you'll know you'll have to do more on the gut health food digestive track. But if you start taking them and you notice all of a sudden it's better, good, I'm happy for you, that worked. It's not, hasn't been my issue, but I, in all the studying and the coursework that I've done on weight loss in menopause, they always recommend digestive enzymes. So it might be something that you're interested in trying. And then of course, don't eat after dinner. Stop doing that. Eat a breakfast. Most of us women should. We're not meant to start the day hungry and depleted. You want to get some food in there, especially if you're working out with me, within those 30 minutes, because otherwise our progesterone goes too low and starts a whole stress response in the body. Okay. I hope this helped. Of course, a little plug for working with me. I can help. If you have specific things that you need, we can talk about that, and like I can give you protocols for your exact needs. Even hearing this, your intuition probably sparked on the things that you need to do. So reach out if you feel like you would like. I mean, I'll offer you guys a bit like of a deal. You don't have to do a huge program with me if you just need a couple calls or whatever. I'm really open to helping you. It's what I like to do. So if you need help on a specific area and you've been doing the hard work and the abs are underneath there and you would like to start showing them off, and some of these things are definitely ringing true to you, reach out to me and we can work together and I can help support you in any way that I can. Okay. So happy weekend. I hope that you enjoyed this, that this was informative. There'll be a little bit more of this at the end of the month after abs, talking about more of that hormonal, just general stuff that applies to every single woman. This isn't like specific to you. This is very general, but things that we should all know. Okay. Sat Nam. Have a wonderful day.